Hey everyone, it's Miss T and King. I want to talk to all my hopeful romantics or hopeless romantics. I usually use hopeful. I consider myself a hopeful romantic. I can relate to a lot of people. If you've ever asked yourself, like, where's my soulmate? Where's my wife? Where's my husband? And you're just at that point, like, okay, God, I have this, I have that, like, where's this missing piece of the puzzle? This is what I need. So I just left church today, and the pastor said something so powerful, and he said, God is faithful, we are forgetful. And I had to let that marinate for just a little bit. God is faithful, we're forgetful. So if you're right now sad, Valentine's Day just passed by maybe about a week or so ago, and you may be sad, you may be depressed, like I didn't have a Valentine, or maybe that guy you really liked, it just didn't work out. I want to remind you that God is faithful. Do not forget. Don't become forgetful. When we're forgetful, we try to force relationships. We talk to a bunch of losers or try to force things to make it work out. We do our own thing. We're like, okay, God, well, you must have forgot about me because I don't see my soulmate. I don't see my husband. I've been patient for so many years. Where is this person? So I'm just gonna go out and I'm just gonna, create this own relationship and slap your name on it and say, oh, well, it happened, so it was God's will. And then years later, maybe months later, the person breaks your heart, you're shattered, you're heartbroken, and then you're upset with God. You're like, well, how could this happen? Why did you allow this to happen? And God's just like, I didn't let that. No, you went after the person. You tried to force this thing for it to work out, and now you're heartbroken because you were forgetful. God is always faithful. He's always faithful, and He operates on His time, and that's something I had to worry. I've had to learn. I remember when maybe I was 15, 60 years old, and if you are millennial and you're approaching your quarter life or you're in that area, is such a harsh reality, because years ago you would think, oh, by 25 I'm gonna have this, and then now what you're in that phase, it's that ain't happening. Oh, you thought you was gonna have it all together, you thought you was just gonna be bankrolling and have the house, the picket fence and the family all by this age. You're not gonna get it. And so that's something I've just been learning just with life in general, that even though I said this at this age, maybe about 15, 16 years old, could be at 19. Oh, I'm going to be married by this age. I used to want to be married when I was young. That was the dumbest thing I could have ever said. But no shade to any people who are married now and they're young. Not at all. But I just want you to know that God operates on His time, and what you should be doing right now, you should be focusing on yourself. And it sounds so redundant, and it's just I'm tired of focusing on myself, but really and truly, I want you to just meditate on just the thought of Christ, and just know that God is enough. He is enough. You don't need somebody else to complete your lives, to be that missing piece of the puzzle. God is the missing piece of the puzzle. He is enough. He's enough if you don't have a job. He's enough if you don't have a spouse. He's enough if you don't have money in the bank. He's enough for everything in life. And it's just, what are you going to trust Him? Are you going to say, okay, God, you know the desires. I know that you said you're going to bring this to me. You're going to fulfill your promise. You're going to allow me to meet an amazing man, or my queen, and I'm going to have something with them one day. Are you going to rest in knowing that God is faithful, or are you going to forget? Are you going to take the time and just say, okay, well, it's been about 4 years. You're right, God, you must have forgot. So I'm just going to go ahead and get with this person, even though I know I'm not supposed to be with them. So I'm just going to, because I want to make it work. Are you going to be desperate, get with somebody else's husband or wife? Have you reached that point of desperation where you just want love so much, you're willing to get it from anybody? Are you that desperate where you're going to stay in a loveless relationship because you just want companionship that bad? That's the problem. That's a problem. And if that's what you're going through, you need to realize, wait a minute, God is enough. I don't have to stay in this loveless relationship. I don't have to creep with somebody else's man. I don't have to give this man my body just to keep his attention because I'm lonely and nothing else is working out. I don't see any other good catches out there, so I'm just going to do whatever it takes to hold on to them because God isn't enough. That's what your actions are telling God. And I just want to encourage you to just break that cycle and challenge yourself to do something different. Challenge yourself to just really focus on Christ and ask him, where do you want me to go? You have me in this season of singleness for a reason. You have me in this season, so what do you want me to do with it? I think life is about not necessarily focusing on what you don't have, but focus on what you do have. Use the moments right now that's in front of you to create something just amazing and positive. Show God, you know what, God? I don't care. I know you're going to come through with that, so I'm not going to worry. You're faithful, and I'm not going to forget. And I think that's just so important. It's so important. And I think the moment you just accept the true mentality that God is enough and that he has all of that covered. He has your bills covered in the future. He has your career covered. He has your spouse covered. Just right now, do the work and trust him. And when he sees that you're trusting him, when he sees you're pursuing him wholeheartedly, it's all going to work out on his time. And that's something I've struggled with for the longest. It's his time. I know, like, okay, God's going to give this to me. But I'm naturally impatient. I'm a Sagittarius, and I like what I like right now. Give it to me now. And if I don't have it now, my natural instinct is to just go get it on my own. And I've done that plenty of times, and I've been hurt, or God just keeps shoving things in my face like, nope. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be obedient. So just my message for all those hopeful romantics, hopeless romantics, whatever you claim that you are, just rest in knowing that God is enough. Take your mind off having someone else to complete you. Take your mind off of what you don't have. Just really focus on what you do have. And maybe, I don't know everyone who's watching this message, but maybe you need to work on yourself. Fix your heart. Make sure your heart is right, because a lot of times we pass up amazing people because our priorities are wrong. We focus on all the external things, the things that can fluctuate and change, money, material things, looks. Those things can change. Our priorities are in the wrong spot. And you can miss out on somebody amazing. You think your person's just going to be perfect, picture perfect. If God was to present your soulmate to you right now, you probably roll your eyes like, I don't want that man. So while you are waiting for somebody, make sure your heart is in the right place. Make sure you're in a place where if God would present it, you would receive them. Make sure your priorities together. Don't be out here just, sleeping around with any and everybody. A's are real. That's disgusting. But, I just want you to really have your mind and heart just in the right place, because God is going to bless you. And when he does, I want you to not take that blessing for granted, because he can bring somebody amazing in your life, and your actions and your immaturity can ruin it. And then you're really going to be sad and messed up. So just to prevent all of that, just resting on God is enough. Strives to be the best you as possible, and know that it's going to happen at the right time, at the right place, if you leave it in God's hands. Don't go out here getting with somebody just because at a certain point God's going to give you what you want. If he sees, okay, fine, you're really trying to settle for the sir over here, and this is who I have for you, but you keep trying to force this because I didn't present this to you yet over here, he'll let you. Fine, go have the person, go have a little Instagram thought, go have the flashy man, and one day you're gonna realize, oops, I made a mistake, and this wasn't God's best. So just don't forget that God is always faithful. He sees you, and he's going to bless you his time. And also know that regardless, don't even worry about the win. Just know, even when he bless you, he's still enough. Because a person will let you down, a job can let you down, and you can also lose it. And just know that despite all of that, you can have nothing in this world and still be so rich, because God is enough, and he will be your everything if you allow him. So I hope that makes you guys feel better. Go out, do something fun. You only have one life, so live it. Don't waste your time focusing on what you don't have. Just to make the most of what you do have, and the other things will fall into place. Also, subscribe to my blog, MissTNKing.com. Follow me on Instagram, Miss TN King, and also add me on Facebook, TN King, and Twitter, Miss TN King. Everything's Miss TN King, basically. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you have a good day. Bye.